Hey guys, how's it going? Underground Geek here. So I got another video for you guys. You guys know what day it is. It's time for the Comicsgate News, our weekly video where we talk about all the things that are going on in the Comicsgate world, and that has to do with comic books, television, and things like that. And there's a lot to talk about this week, so I may miss a couple things, but I want to, cover some of the main points. That way you guys know kind of what's going on more. That way you don't have to watch so many videos. You can just check out one video and get caught up on the week. So let's get started here. We have a couple things to talk about. We have a lot to talk about actually, but we're going to cover a couple things. So they're doing this Titans TV show, Teen Titans, whatever they're going to call it. And they're doing the TV show of it, which I'm very excited about. It's going to be a live action TV show. And now they have decided to release the news that Jason Todd is going to be in it. Now, everybody, of course, knows who Jason Todd is. He turns into the Red Hood, and everybody assumes that he's going to be the Red Hood. Now, he may not necessarily be the Red Hood. He may be Jason Todd. But it says here, while fans might be waiting years for a Nightwing movie or finding out the story behind Robin #2's costume in the trophy case in Batman vs. Superman, it seems we'll be getting a live-action version of our favorite former Batman sidekicks, just on television and not on the big screen. The last episode of the upcoming Titans television series has a very telling title, as thanks to the folks at the Titans TV. We know the name of the episode 7 of the season is Jason Todd. And then, they play it off like it's this big thing. He could just show up at the end and you may just hear him say, hey Nightwing or hey Robin, and then you not even see who he is. So they make a whole article about this because they want to tell you, they want to use it some time and show you who Jason Todd is, tell you all about it, blah blah, get you to click on it. But it's really just clickbait because we don't know that much about it. But we do know that at least his name is in the title. He's kind of like the Green Ranger of Batman comic books, so to speak, because he's one of those guys that always gets talked about. He's that separate character. Jason Todd as Red Hood is a very fun character. He's unique. And so it's a pretty cool thing to have him maybe in the Titans show. So next, we've got Marvel announces an exclusive agreement with Chip Zdarsky. So they finally signed an agreement with him. He had been writing for Spectacular Spider-Man. And at first it sucked, but then he turned it around and made it into one of the best runs of Spider-Man right now. I'm not going to say to date, but one of the best runs of Spider-Man right now. And so his Spectacular Spider-Man is actually better than Amazing Spider-Man, the main title. And but then again, so is Scarlet Spider with Ben Reilly. It's also better than Amazing Spider-Man because Dan Slott sucks. He cannot write. If he can, he's not trying to. He likes to make Peter into a wimp, into a low testosterone wimp, and wearing his girlfriend's shirt. How do you even fit in your girlfriend's shirt, first of all? But so we've got him now. He is slated to work for Marvel, and it says he's done things like Howard the Duck, Star-Lord, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. And he's also doing the Marvel 2-in-1 that everybody says is really good. I haven't had a chance to read it, but everybody says it's good. He says, I'm thrilled to be with Marvel. Well, wouldn't you be thrilled to be with Marvel? You get a paycheck. This deal means I get to do whatever I want with whatever characters I want, and nobody can stop me, which is great. See, that's where that's where Chip needs to calm down. Okay, we've got too many people coming in here and destroying stuff. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to be funny, but Chip is not funny. And he comes off, he always says the most inappropriate thing at the most inappropriate time, and this makes you go, wah, wah. But it says, what more can be said about Chip Zdarsky that he hasn't already said about himself, adds C.B. Cebulski. But seriously, in the time he's been at Marvel, Chip's shown us all the most amazing range of skills as a writer, from his biting humor on Howard the Duck, wah, wah, to the way he approaches Marvel continuity and original ways in Peter Parker, to the heart and humanity he brings to Marvel 2-in-1. That's a good way to put that. So he is exclusively with Marvel now. That's the way it's going to be. And we're glad to have him because he's doing a great job. Now, another story I want to talk about is DC is doing a crossover with Hanna-Barbera and they're going to have the characters from each comic book company do crossover issues together. And so it talks about some of the ones it's going to be doing, and it gets me very excited because, you know, everybody likes Hanna-Barbera and everybody likes DC. It's going to be fun. They already did it with Looney Tunes, and it turned out to be like a really good deal because they did the stories actually really well. It wasn't cheesy. They were actually good. And so if they do the same thing with the Hanna-Barbera, you know, that's just more money in the bank. So it says DC Comics has announced more titles crossing over characters from the DC universe with those from the Hanna-Barbera series. Characters such as Flintstones, Jetsons, Snagglepuss, Johnny Quest, and others have been featured in their own titles. Last year, DC released crossovers to Suicide Squad and Banana Splits, Booster Gold and Flintstones, Green Lantern, and Space Ghost, among others. I never did get to read the Space Ghost one, but I tried to, you know, I got bits and pieces of it, and it looked pretty good. So here's one of the titles here. It's Aquaman and Jabberjaw. That's going to be one of the specials right there. It's a story written by Aquaman writer Dan Abnett. And see, that's what kills me. They're getting like really good writers to do these series. So you know it's going to be like a serious take, and it's actually going to be really good. You've got Black Lightning and Hong Kong Phooey. It's going to be, it says, back from Vietnam, Kung Fu master Hong Kong Phooey has set up his own detective agency in Inner City. Meanwhile, Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning, has uncovered a plot by 3 assassins to collect the components of a sacred text revealing the darkest secrets of martial arts. So we'll see what that's going to be like. We have, let's see if it tells me. It's got Brian Hill doing the writing there, so we'll see how that goes. We have The Flash and the Speedy Buggy special. That's going to be really cool. Did it even tell you? Yeah, it's going to have Scott Lobdell is going to be writing it, and Brett Booth is going to be doing the art, so that'll be really cool. We have Super Sons and Dino Mutt special. That's the one that I'm waiting on. That's going to be really fun. It's got John Kent, and it's got Damian Wayne teaming up with Dino Mutt and Blue Falcon. Is that his name, Blue Falcon? I can never remember. But I always thought he was cool, but I never remember his name, dang it. So it's going to actually have Peter Tomasi writing that one, so that's going to be fun. I'm really excited about this, but it's really cool, you know. They keep doing this awesome things and come up with this cool stuff, and it works out every time, so I'm really excited about that. Another one that we got, and this is the one that kind of gets on my nerves. See, people like to jump to conclusions when nothing's really set in stone. They come out with these multiple articles where they're doing the New Gods movie, and they want to make it seem like the director is already lined up. And the one that they're trying to say it is Ava DuVernay, and so it says she's eyed to direct New Gods. Now these people actually changed the title to make it sound, you know, like it's still up in the air. But it says A Wrinkle in Time director Ava DuVernay is closing in on a deal with Warner Brothers to direct an adaptation of the Wonder Gods, or the New Gods, a major piece of the epic of our times. And see, that's what really gets on my nerves. Okay, they announced this. They started coming out with all these hit pieces, and you know that this was planned out because they started coming out with all these articles a day after all the news started coming out about A Wrinkle in Time probably going to flop at the box office. So they said, oh, we got to come out with this. We got to come out with this. You know, we got to make it. We got to flip it. We got to flip it, because they think if they change the narrative, it's going to make things sound better. But Wrinkle in Time is more likely not going to do good at the box office because nobody's interested because it looks like trash. And then they immediately say, "Oh, we're going to have that same hit. Director's going to be on the New Gods, and you know that's by Jack Kirby, and that's a big deal." And it's clearly not even set up yet. They're still in negotiations, so it could turn out that after this comes back and everybody gets all up in arms, that it doesn't even happen. But people want to make these articles to try to flip the narrative because they know that we don't want crap like Wrinkle in Time. with Oprah playing dress up. And so that's when they come out with this stuff, and it's really dishonest and it's really disingenuous. Now, this article right here is not so much like that, but there's been a lot of articles from Cough Cough Bleeding Cool that likes to do things like that. But so moving on, we have some changes here. Detective Comics, which has been written by James Tynion for a long time now, is getting a new writer in Brian Hill. So it says the signs were there that James Tynion was wrapping up his well-received run on Detective Comics. There's been some speculation about who's going to get the new assignment, but it turns out the answer was not on the list of usual suspects. It's Brian Hill. Hill's current writing on Michael Cray, which is not a very good comic, is part of the Wildstorm revival line. He's also writing the recently announced Black Lightning, Hong Kong Fu for the second round of the DC Hanna-Barbera crossovers. What we talked about earlier, it says previously he was working on independent titles like Postal and Cyberforce, which is to say, once he got in the DC system, it sure didn't take long for him to grab a spot on the flagship title. As announced over at Den of Geek, he is scheduled to be on Detective for a 5-issue arc titled On the Outside. So you're going to test him out and see how he does. But yeah, so James Tynion has been on that title for a long time, so to see them change up writers like that is kind of crazy, you know what I mean? Now, I've also seen where they're, I think, let's see, I think the writer for, what is it, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, I think he is also out now, so they're going to have to find a new writer for that. And everybody was freaking out because it's a really good story and they wanted to keep him on there. And I was like, oh yeah, they'll probably get Peter Tomasi. And they're like, what? Peter Tomasi's going to do it? And I was like, no, I'm just joking, but maybe they will. But so that's also got a different writer right now. So we'll see how that goes. You know, nothing good lasts forever and people want to do different stuff. So and now here's another thing that gets on my nerves. This is the editor-in-chief, Chris Rael, steps down at IDW. And if you look at that guy's face, you see every reason that I object to this kind of stupidity. Look at that stupid face. But anyway, it says, a lot of changes suddenly at comics companies all over. There's too many spaces right there. I've just learned that Chris Rael, formerly Chief Creator Officer and Editor-in-Chief at IDW, has stepped down. The move is entirely of his own volition, I'm told. Yeah, I mean, because if you're told something, you don't have to automatically believe it. When did these people just stop reporting and just start saying, hey, give me everything you got on it, and I'll write a story? That's what it's turned into now. But here's the thing. This guy joined in 2004. He stayed through all the economic problems of like 2008, 2009. And then in the last year, IDW goes full SJW, starts hiring all of these ideologues to do books, and they plummet in profits by 91%. Okay, they lost millions of dollars in just 1 year. One period, they lost millions of dollars. And so, now the editor-in-chief is stepping down, but it had nothing to do with anything. He's leaving of his own volition. Horse crap. Matter of fact, dark Philly crap. Because you don't get to fail that hard and then leave on your own. What happened was they said, look, this is not working. You're out. You can, we're going to do a press release that you're stepping down, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm not stupid. I know how business and corporations work, okay? And they don't want to make it look bad on anybody. They don't want to make it look bad on the company. They want to act like, oh, it was just, creative differences. He's going on his own. He's going to do something new. He's so excited about doing something new. And it's like, no, dude, your stupid face went full SJW, hired a bunch of ideologues, and then crashed the company into the ground. Yeah. You don't get to fail that hard and then everybody pretend that you're doing okay. It says it's got a comment section. Let's just see how bad it is. It says, yeah, net income dropping 90% in a single calendar year has nothing to do with it. No mention of IDW's massive sale decline. See, that's what I'm saying. People are not stupid. And it says right here, man, So depressing to see negative comments right off the bat. Jesus, I for one wish Chris the best. Yeah, nobody cares about your virtue signaling. You obviously don't know anything about sales. It says to Dara, how do you become a writer for them? I'm working on something, but I know that getting into this is very hard. Yeah, we're just going to let you just come on into IDW because we let everybody else, and it crashed it by 90%. Then you got a couple other comments there. Chris is one of the best, most honest, and genuine people in comics. Wah wah. He lied in the first sentence of the title of the book of the story. I mean, whatever. But moving on, we have Bleeding Cool. X-23 replaces all new Wolverine in July with Mariko Tamaki and Juan Cabal. Yeah. So X-23 crashed and burned as Wolverine. Nobody ever wanted that. It turned into a some kind of weird Friends TV show that just happened to have mutants in it, and was a complete bore. And so now they're getting a different writer on X-23. She's going back to her original name because it crashed and failed, and they're going to bring back Wolverine, and then they're not going to actually admit to failing. So they put Mariko Tamaki on it. And Mariko Tamaki is one of those people that really doesn't need to be writing comic books in general. And if you ever seen her, she looks like a lowly little hobbit. She can't write. And so they said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put you on freaking X-23, a book about a crazy, fierce former sex worker assassin cloned of Wolverine. That sounds pretty good. We're just going to do that. And it really makes me so sad. Like, if you read right here, it says, she says, I'm so psyched to have the opportunity to write X-23. How often do you get to write a comic that has its own iconic sound effect? This story is about being in the very weird kind of family that someone like X-23 finds herself in. It's about what it means to wrestle with legacy and identity when you were created to be a weapon and not someone with a birthday and a sister. I love writing these characters. I love the ferocity that comes with them, and I love the supporting cast we put together for these issues. Nowhere in it did she say, I love action, I love adventure, I love excitement in these comic books. It was all about what she is, what she identifies as, and her politics, so to speak. It never once should she say, yeah, I'm going to get in there and we're going to have awesome fight scenes. We're going to have a lot of action. It's going to be exciting. Nowhere did she say that. And it just makes me very sad because they keep putting these people that don't actually know how to write superhero comic books, but then give them superhero comic books. So, I mean, it's only a matter of time before we get in some serious trouble at Marvel. If this fresh start doesn't work, I don't really know what's going to happen to Marvel. So moving on, ending on a good note, Brian Pulido is doing a Lady Death Kickstarter. Now, Brian Pulido is the guy for Lady Death. He's the one that wrote it. And so he started a new Kickstarter because he wants to bring Lady Death back. And we're very excited about it because Lady Death was always a very cool character. I know one person that's going to be very excited. Dark Philly is going to be very excited about Lady Death. Who doesn't like Lady Death? She's awesome. So he's actually started a Kickstarter. Now, since Diversity in Comics video, they went from 217,000 to 230,000 in just a couple of days. And that's only with less than 2,000 backers that he's got almost $250,000 income already pledged. And that's great because you're talking about 230,000 in sales on a Kickstarter on a book that's not even out yet. And I've seen people struggle, B. Clay Moore, to get even 20,000 and then don't even produce the book. And then you've got this guy right here doing 230,000, and it's going to be great when it comes out because we need books like this. We need these awesome female characters doing awesome action. We need these people that look like females to be in books because the crap that we've got now with the boob pecs and the weird facial hair and things like that needs to stop. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. It says Lady Death is a supernatural sword-wielding anti-hero who battles evil in hell and wherever she pleases. Once she was Hope, a teenage girl who was deceived by demons in an effort to save her mother's soul in hell. She renounces her mortality for eternal life in hell. To ensure her survival, she turns to the darkness within herself and begins a transformation into Lady Death. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with that. I think it's going to be great. We need this kind of thing. We need less identity politics, less HJW titles. So we'll see what happens with that. But I hope you guys liked the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you later. And that's it for the news today, guys. Underground Geek out.